Hey friend, welcome back for more Jenn Juice. I'm Jenn Zingmark, your LDS life and divorce coach, here to help you navigate the challenges of divorce with faith, grace, and resilience. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I am talking about how to build strong relationships with your stepchildren, and I am going to share my 4 secrets to bonding with your stepchildren today. Now, this video is part 1 of a 2-part series on step parenting. So tune in next week for part 2, where I will cover 5 ways to strengthen love in your step family. This is such an important topic that comes up in everyone's life who is divorced, remarried, and has a blended family. So it's so important. I'm happy to share some thoughts with you today. Falling in love with your spouse can be really easy, but loving their children may not be as simple. Divorce is just the first big hurdle of your mountain to climb, friend. You can have a beautiful life after divorce and in a second marriage, but it will look different than the life you had before. You may not have ever considered getting divorced or getting remarried as something that you would do in your life. No one plans to get divorced, but the key to a successful life and having healthy relationships after divorce is being open, willing to learn, and intentional. Creating a beautiful life is challenging no matter what trials you face, but it is possible no matter what your family dynamics are like. So, if you're divorcing, considering remarriage, or you're already remarried and have stepchildren, this video is for you. So, I'm so glad you're here. Before we get into the good stuff about blending families and keeping your cool, hit that like button. Trust me, these tips are going to be your new best friend. A quick subscribe is the easiest way to make sure the best advice for your stepfamily life. All right, let's get into it. If you're divorced, then you know that life gets a lot more complicated after divorce, especially if you have children. Your kids may spend half of their time with their other parent. You may be co-parenting with your ex, and you may have shared responsibility for health insurance and medical bills, and you may be dealing with child support and alimony issues. All these things make life much more complicated than you ever imagined it could be. But most people don't want to stay single the rest of your life after divorce. I understand this. I got remarried after my divorce, and my husband and I were both divorced, and we both had children from our previous marriages. I had 3 children, and he had 1, and then we had a baby after we got married. So we had a his, mine, and ours situation. And y'all, I'm telling you, throughout my divorce and remarriage journey, I have dealt with all the things: family court proceedings and visitation and custody issues, alimony and legal bills, and dealing with ex-spouses and ex-in-laws and step parenting and blended families. I could go on, but you know what it's like if you're going through it. But we got through it together. Not because we did everything perfectly. We definitely didn't, but we didn't give up. And most importantly, we partnered with the Lord and kept working at it. And that is really my best advice for you. Partner with the Lord and keep working at it. Everyone's situation is unique, but I have learned a lot through my own experience with stepfathers and with helping clients over the years. So I have some practical tips for learning to love and connect with your stepchildren that you can apply immediately to dramatically improve your marriage and family relationships. Now, we all know that second marriages have a higher divorce rate than first marriages. According to census data, second marriages in the United States have much higher divorce rates than first marriages, and some estimates are as high as 67% for second marriages compared to 40 to 50% with first marriages. So why are second marriages more likely to fail? Well, you're starting with a lot of additional baggage. If you're both divorced, then you both come into the relationship with possibly some unhealthy relationship patterns, maybe trust issues, unresolved emotional wounds. Then you have your children, and then you have your exes. You also may have more financial obligations than in your first marriage. So there's so many additional stressors on a second marriage. So the odds are already stacked against you. That means you have to be way more prepared and intentional to make a second marriage successful. And one way that you can do that is by investing and learning strategies to help you succeed in your second marriage. That is why it's important to come in with some good plans and ideas, strategies to be successful in your second marriage. So I'm glad you're here learning some of that with me today. I also have some additional podcasts on this topic. I will link those in the show notes. They're episodes 64 and 65 for more great advice on blending families and navigating second marriages. One of the most significant things that I have learned is that your personal relationship with your stepchildren makes all the difference. The labels for these positions don't matter as much as I thought they did. And a child's name for you, whether it's mom or dad or stepmom or stepdad, is much less important than the relationship that you have with them. As the adult in this relationship, you have to accept the responsibility for creating the relationship that you want with your stepchildren. Now, it could happen relatively quickly, or it could take many years of dealing with challenges and persevering through some difficult situations before you finally achieve the relationship that you want to have. But that responsibility is up to you. As much as your stepchildren may challenge you or frustrate you, they do see you as theirs and they are yours. Sometimes it is those really difficult, challenging relationships in our lives that are the most valuable. So remember that you are both in each other's lives for a reason. And you're helping to nurture and raise this child in the world. You have a very special opportunity and a responsibility to love this child. So take it seriously and apply these 4 secrets to bonding with your stepchildren, and it will help you right away. The first secret to bonding with your stepchild is to shift your idea about what it means to consider a child your own. A biological parent and a child are united through their shared DNA and the cultivation of a healthy, rich relationship. But step parent and stepchild are also bonded through shared life experiences and developing a healthy, rich relationship. Whether you call yourself a step parent or a bonus parent or just a parent, remember that the label doesn't change the essential potential relationship that you can create with this child who needs your love and guidance. So don't worry about the title. The second secret to bonding with your stepchildren is patience. Relax your expectations about how things should be and be patient with them as they adjust to having you in their life. It may take time for your stepchild to want to get to know you, and you shouldn't take their reluctance personally. Also, give them the time and the space to grieve the loss of their parents' relationship. Don't force things on them. Just be interested and inviting and curious about them. Make your entrance into their life as gentle as possible. Don't come in as an enforcer or a disciplinarian or even an authority figure in the beginning. Allow their biological parent to be the disciplinarian initially. Think of yourself as a loving uncle or aunt in the beginning. You need to create a loving connection and build that relationship before you start acting like a parent. So take things very slowly. The third secret to bonding with your stepchildren is to take an interest in them. You should be proactive in getting to know them. Find out what they like to eat or play with, and be proactive about doing things that they enjoy. Find out what they like to do for fun and what their hobbies are and what their favorite subjects are in school and who their friends are. Make it your job to get to know them well. But be patient if they're not interested in getting to know you yet. Okay? Show that you care by listening to them, asking them about their day and their interests, and observing what's important to them. Make sure you prioritize spending time with them, supporting them in their activities, watching their games or concerts or recitals, and cheering them on. Consider yourself a cheerleader for them. Okay, the fourth secret to bonding with your stepchildren is to be positive and accepting towards them. Okay, we are all sensitive to negativity, but it can carry a heavier weight when it comes from a step parent. According to relationship researcher John Gottman, the magic ratio is 5 to 1. Now, this means that for every negative interaction between anyone in a relationship, there must be 5 positive interactions to balance out that negative one's effect. So find opportunities to praise them when they participate or cooperate and celebrate when they do. Okay? Every family is unique and family dynamics are very complex. You and your new spouse are forming a new family dynamic. So be intentional about showing love and acceptance for everyone and creating your own new culture. It can build on previous family dynamics and be unique to your own family unit at the same time. It's all right if things are different at their other parent's house than yours. Just ensure that all of the children know that they are loved, wanted, and accepted unconditionally with you. Building a strong bond with your stepchildren takes time, it takes patience, and it takes intentionality. By shifting your perspective on what it means to be a parent, taking a genuine interest in their lives, creating a positive, accepting environment, you can foster a connection based on love and respect. But remember, it is a gradual process. So be patient with yourself and with your stepchildren as you navigate this journey together. The key is showing up consistently with care and support and creating space where both you and your stepchildren can grow and thrive as a family. These are my 4 secrets to bonding with your stepchildren. Make sure you come back next week for part 2 in this series, where I will share 5 ways to strengthen love in your stepfamily. And as I mentioned earlier, my husband and I had both been divorced and we both had children from our previous marriages. And we have now been married for 20 years with our blended family. So we have been through all the challenges over the last 20 years. But we got through it together, not because we've done everything perfectly, but because we didn't stop trying. Okay. The most important thing that I want you to remember from this episode is to partner with the Lord and keep working at it. That is my best advice, friend. You have the power within you to change the trajectory of your life forever and have a generational impact on your family when you do this work on yourself. Hey, if this video is helping you blend your family and makes you feel a little less like a wicked step parent in a Disney movie, hit that subscribe button. And if you want more tips and laughs and probably a story or two about my own stepmom fails, make sure you subscribe and like this video to join the fun. I promise it's way easier than dealing with teenage stepkids. Find the joy, friends. It is there if you choose to find it. And remember, you've got this. Just keep trying. Bye, y'all.